you're all doing great today. I was going through my collection and thought, wow, I've got a lot of Radleigh Valentine decks. So I thought I would do one video to kind of showcase them all and think about whittling them down to, just one and getting my collection down a bit. So here I've got them laid out, and I've been collecting decks, both Oracle and Tarot, for, gosh, over 20 years now. And these have edged their way in, and I do enjoy them, but I just love Radleigh. I think he is always positive, always looking to a bright future, always looking to take a bad situation and find that silver lining, which is why I really enjoy his decks. A while ago, he had his certified angel tarot course on sale. So I went ahead and took that to become a certified angel tarot reader. I did that not because I planned on, doing it myself, but because I wanted to learn. I wanted to grow more and just soak in that wisdom that he is happy to share. So during that course, I purchased one more of his decks, the actual angel tarot cards, and the book that comes with it, just to kind of follow along, do my homework, do the courses and such, and I greatly enjoyed them. But as I mentioned before, I've been going through all my decks here, organizing them, culling them, putting them, on eBay or whatever, and I thought, gosh, I've got a lot of these, and I really need to whittle them down. Don't have the time or the inclination to use all of them, so here I am, happy to share them. Now, obviously, the angel tarot cards are, I believe, his original ones. Artwork by Steve A. Roberts. And if I give any feedback on any of the artwork, it's just my personal opinion. They're all beautiful. They're all stunning, and they all carry across their meaning beautifully. So let's move the book out of the way first. It is, even if you don't have the cards, the book is wonderful because, as you can see, it gives the symbol spreads and readings. You can see the cards in them. They give black and white examples. They talk about astrology. They talk about symbolism. They go into the angel numbers on how the cards are represented by the numbers, by the archangel. And they talk about, the fool's journey, in this case, the dreamer's journey. And they go into a lot of detail in here. So even if you just had the book, it would be really helpful if you're curious and wanting to learn more about his system. So I'm going to put the book aside. More than likely, I'll keep this no matter what, because it is such a thick, excellent reference. And while I'm pulling out the angel deck, let's kind of talk about angels. In my humble opinion, you don't necessarily have to be Christian to, believe in or talk to angels. Angels have been around for eons, even before Christianity. You can, see them on the walls of these ancient paintings. You can read about them in the ancient Sanskrit texts. So, even back in the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, they had the winged spiritual guides. So, in my opinion, it doesn't mean that, you have to be Christian, or on the opposite end of the page, you have to be religious and therefore just stick to the angel decks because all the other ones might be evil. Or, no, in my opinion, be what you want, follow the path you want, and learn about whatever you want. Use, whatever tool you want, because at the end of the day, these are tools, and they help you grow, they help you learn, and they can teach you things. So just my 2 cents. So let's move the book away. And we'll start with the first one. I kind of got the covers just over the decks to try and make it simple. They all come in this nice, the box knock. They all come in a sturdy box. I sometimes find they're hard to, get out of them. I prefer like a magnetic clasp, but these work really well. They all have, beautiful artwork on the front, talking about Radleigh there, and of course the artwork. The only one that doesn't mention artwork or illustration is the Archangel Power tarot card. So I'm wondering if perhaps Radleigh himself did those with digital software. So let's look at this deck first. Comes with a lovely guidebook. And the first thing you'll notice is they are framed. They're not borderless. And the deck has a teeny tiny little example there in black and white for you. You can see it has the meaning, and it talks about it, additional meanings, and it talks about the archangel on the card. So as you can see, it's kind of simplified compared to that, great big angel tarot book. So used as a companion, that large book works well. This one will help you, just as easily. It gets the point across, it gets the meaning, it talks about the archangel and additional meanings. And the cards themselves have keywords on them and little sentences. Some people don't like that. I do. I like them on there. Not only is it a great teaching tool, but, sometimes you don't want to have to really, dig deep. You just want that little prompt to trigger your intuition. So you go, oh yeah, I know what this is talking about. You don't really have to think about it sometimes. Depends on your mood. So the deck itself, here we have, again, instead of calling him the dreamer, the fool, he talks about the dreamer. Artwork is beautiful. It's very detailed. And I'm sure if made in modern times, this would be borderless. But we still would need the, the keywords and the little tagline at the bottom, which I happen to like. He's got purple for the majors, and look how dramatic this angel is here. And again, always positive taglines here for you. And you'll see this again in the Angel Wisdom and Archangel Power, where they've got these beautiful angels representing the majors. And, things are Radleigh Smith cloned, which I like. The Empress is, of course, lavish abundance, nurture yourself and others. It's really, really nicely done. Let's move ahead because we've got quite a bit to look at here. But you'll notice that the pentacles are called Earth. So he goes with the elements instead, being wands being fire, and cups being water. Now, also you'll notice that the Earth is fairies. So, they're, that kind of is appropriate to me. You've got fairies, being of the earth, guardians of the earth, spirits of the earth. So there they are. Beautiful Knight of Earth there, that horse. And again, here's our keywords up top and our prompting below. And a little smaller, than we're used to with borderless cards. But if you don't mind that, if you can be forgiving about it, then it won't bother you at all. The Ace of Air, these are done in unicorns and Pegasus. Well, they're spiritual. They're in the ether, so that kind of makes sense too. And they're all kind of Radleigh Smith, so easy to tell. There's our Knight of Swords. Knight of Air. Look at that queen. As he says, she has been there, done that, and that really comes across that way. So that's the angel, the original one, I might say. It's for its time, it was stunning. It was amazing. We got dragons in the wands. Now, there are a couple cards I'm not fond of. This one, the Ace of Water. To me, I just see like kind of a mutant, like a half mermaid, half salamander with a human head. But that's me, again, and I don't mean to insult the artist. I'm sure it's probably something different looking than, you know, what it's supposed to be, but other than that, yeah, they're beautiful and they make their point. So, moving on. Now we have the angel answer cards, which I'm sure he did these because a lot of people were asking, you know, what does this mean? Yes. Does this mean no? Is there a time frame? So he made these, and they really actually make things pretty easy if you need just a short, quick, definite answer. And it's got a lovely book, The Angel Answers. So, you know, it gives the card example. It's much bigger in this book, the little black and white picture. And it talks about the answer short and sweet. See? Which is what you need with these. You don't need something, you know, drawn out. Again, you need a quick, easy answer. So, based on your question, he's got these sorted out. Yes, no, he's got timing in the near future, within the next few months, perfect timing. Listen to your intuition. So there's other, you know, wait. Based on the question you're asking, ask your angels. There's another yes, reconsider. So there's a no. So, you know, if you're wanting a quick clarification, yes, no, you know, should I do this? There you go. That's what these are for. So they're very helpful, and usually organized by color, where you know, you can put the timing ones in a pile, put the yes or no ones in a pile, so that you would get a quick yes or no answer. There's the back, so pretty. Okay, so then that brings me to the fairy tarot cards. And he had another, it was a free course on his fairy tarot. And that was fun because they're more, you know, fairies. Again, some people are really into them. Some people are, you know, not really into them. I like them. I think they're a lot of fun. And I think that, you know, they are kind of spirits and guardians of the earth, so to speak. The book, tiny little picture again. I think it was done the same time as the angel. But you have the meanings. You know, there's the emperor, talks about it. Additional meanings if you need them. It has little spreads in here. There is not a large, big book of fairy tarot like there is the big book of angel. But that's okay because you kind of, you know, you get the meaning from this well enough. And again, he has gone with the seasons instead of wands, cups, pentacles, and swords. He's gone with the seasons. You know, he's got spring, summer, winter, and fall, autumn. Let's look at the cards. And these are, again, lovely artwork. There's the back. And here is the Fool. Again, he calls it the Dreamer. So it is Rider-Waite-Smith, again, the Magician. And these, as you can see, instead of the angels, we've got fairy here. And they have borders. We've got our little sayings at the bottom. And again, the majors are in this deep purple color. And spring. For me at first, it was a little difficult to tell between spring and summer. But once you start actually looking at the pictures, then you know you can tell pretty much Rider-Waite-Smith what is being done here. You've got your prompts at the bottom. Look at that. He's riding a bunny. Isn't that adorable? On his course, he had talked about the major and which fae could represent them, and the court cards. It was fascinating because he went through the Celtic fae, Ireland, Wales. We have winter. Winter obviously being swords. And there's 2 instruments. And his explanation of these as we went through them was fascinating to learn why some of these had what they had. Beautiful page of swords. And summer. So summer is obviously cups. Look at here. 4 of cups here. She's, you know, being a little discontented with life. The little angel. Hey, you know. They're just beautiful. This one is gorgeous, looking at the forest. And autumn, which are the pentacles. I know there are other reviews of these. That's why I'm not going card by card for you. This is just kind of sharing the full collection of what I have here. So there's our dreamers there. Now, let's look at the Angel Wisdom. Illustrations by Dan Craig. And these ones, I believe, are the most recent. He has done an animal tarot. He's redone the one that he had originally done with Doreen Virtue. I don't have that one. And you can see why I've got way too many already. This one was fascinating because it had, there's the book for you. This does not have images. Has a lot of spreads. Nice thick book. Here's the backs. And again, you can see there's that theme again, the dreamer. And we've got in the bottom, he's got the archangel and 0, the card for the fool. And there's the prompt. And this time the majors are in this brown border. The borders aren't as thick. So you can tell this one's a little more modern. Beautiful cardstock on these. And that Empress is gorgeous. The bunnies back here. So again, these are a little bit different than the other angel tarot. These ones are, you know, featuring more people in the minors. Here we have the swords, which again, he's got the card number here. There's the symbol for winter. There's the archangel, and it's related major card. So you would go back to the majors and find that matching card, which in this case is the hangman, or he calls it awakening in this one. So you would read in the book, you know, how they're related to each other. This one being, you know, awakening, you're realizing things, whereas the Ace of Swords has always kind of been the aha moment, you know, the new idea coming forward. So he's done that to all of the minors. Some lovely artwork there. Again, these are more, you know, people, less of the fantasy look as the other ones were, the artsy ones, but more modern day. Here's our cups. What a lovely Ace of Cups. That's a fun 3 of Cups. Looks like they're singing along, kind of walking along the path there. I love that one. So more modern people wearing modern clothes. But, you know, still Rider-Waite-Smith gets the point across. And there's our pinnacles. Lovely. And here are our wands. There we go. Okay. And again, you know, 10 of Wands, always finding the bright side, you know. Yeah, you're working too hard, too many hours. Let others help you. So, okay. That is that one. We've got one more to look at here. And that's this one, the Archangel Power. Now, there's no illustration mentioned on here. I looked in the book. I didn't see it. So I'm thinking Radleigh might have done it himself. Here's the book. Giving you a little black and white picture, talking about what it is, additional meanings, and then talking again about the Archangel that's related in there. And these were meant to more, whereas the Fairy Tarot is a playful one, the Angel Tarot, you know, is for some spiritual guidance. This one is to give you empowerment, you know, to encourage you. So while it might kind of look almost at first like a duplicate of the Angel Tarot, it's slightly different. So let's take a look. Okay, so again, the majors are in this beautiful purple. We've got a border telling the Archangel above, Ariel, and there we have the prompt down below with some keywords. Probably one of the prettier strength cards I've seen. It's just beautiful. I love it. Divine guidance. So this is the Hierophant. And yes, this does immediately to me bring forth an image of the Hierophant. Look at his the bottom of his robe. You know, we've got different religious symbols there. Search for meaning of life. So that's pretty cool. Beautiful Chariot. That star is lovely, hopeful. Decision instead of the devil. So, you know, release you from that would hold you back. Detox. So instead of the devil, it's more of a, you know, you're setting free of that cage. You're releasing yourself. Peace instead of death. Release. This is a theme through all of his decks. It's more of a release, a peace rather than, you know, death. Even though I think of the death card as more of a transformation. This is the Tower. So instead of people falling, tumbling, and lightning, it's more of, you know, just there's your tower, and it's, you know, the lights are coming on and you're realizing something. Embrace the opportunities that change. So yeah, I won't go through everything here. There are a couple things that in the illustration that bug me, only because I'm like a horse person. Some of the action images of the horses, the legs will get kind of skewed. Let me find a different one. This one is kind of out of the theme of the rest of them. You know, you've got angels everywhere and stuff, and then you've got this kind of just a random guy. But I understand, you know, it's the magician, you know, and there's Archangel Raziel way in the corner. You can see him there. But it still brings the point across. Archangel Michael looks, you know, really nice in this deck, with big, bold, beautiful wings. Instead of the Dreamer in this one, it's Leap of Faith. So, you know, the Zero card, you can tell right away he looks like the Fool. He's got his dog, and your guide behind you, you know, with the sun streaming in, the mountains. It's the Fool. You can easily recognize it. So let me jump ahead here. Here we go. Again, we've got Michael is the suit of swords. And for me, that's easy to remember because, you know, Michael and his sword of light. So for me, it's very easy to tell any of these Michaels are swords. Look at this page of swords. Doesn't he look like he's going to be getting into some trouble? Look, he's flying a kite in a storm. There's our 8 of Swords. You know, she's freeing herself with our guide there to encourage us. Yeah, and this 3 of Swords. How many times in our lives have we felt, you know, alone and sorrowful while on this, you know, this gray hill, and our guide is there to try and comfort us. You know, release the past. You will grow from the situation. At the time, we don't think about that, but it is true. So let's move forward. Oh, and I have to show you the 10 of Swords. You know, most of them show either a figure stabbed or something like that. This one, she has taken a bow. And in the end, it's still, something is over. Something is done. So, you know, it was a silver lining kind of way of looking at, you know, a dark card. Life's too short to be, you know, doom and gloom, especially in today's circus of a world. So, so here we have Gabrielle is for the wands, and she appears in different little areas. She's beautiful, obviously, but sometimes she kind of appears like she's just kind of pasted on there, but that's okay. I mean, it's still really pretty. This is one of them where the back of the horse's leg is kind of wonky. But again, that's just me. I love the rest of the picture here. This is definitely, you know, 6 of Wands. He's victorious. And we have a happy farmer, I guess. Which, you know, 9 of Wands, we're used to seeing, you know, the wounded warrior kind of, you know, the soldier that's still, you know, going through it. But I guess, you know, he's still tough. He's doing his time. But we have our king. So let's move on to our next suit. So now we have Raphael, which are the cups. 9 of Cups, make that wish. Again, beautifully done. Very pretty, very nice, and they come across quite well. This horse looks okay to me. This one is the other one besides the horse that bugs me, simply because he's supposed to be the King of Cups. It's the tail kind of thing that, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I do like everything else in this deck. And here we have Ariel. So, again, lovely, lovely. Look at that beautiful unicorn with the rainbow. There's our queen. Our 2 of Pentacles. So that, in a nutshell, is the collection. I have to say, after looking at all of these, while I love the fantasy art of the Tarot of Angels. I think it's beautiful, it's stunning, and I enjoy the larger images of these, the modern take, you know, the shortcuts that you can take as well. And I also enjoy the fairy tarot. I think I'm coming back to this one. If I have to have just one, I think this is probably it, just because of the artwork. You know, if I'm going to have an angel deck in my collection, I think this is the one that I will keep. And the rest of them, I will probably rehome. So this was a long one. I apologize, you know, for being so long, and if I've rambled. If you're still here, thank you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of the day.